This is a video intended for Club Contessa. Well, girls, we took Contessa down to the Great Meadow International down in Virginia. We got here on Wednesday. And like I said to you in an email, I decided to put Contessa in the 3-star short. Bromont was a massive test for her. It was a 4.5 star, and I was just worried that we really pushed Contessa to her limit, so I decided to back off a bit and a slightly easier dressage, show jumping and cross country down here at Great Meadows. So I think it was a good decision, actually. Obviously we've been working really hard at her flying changes, and it's quite stressful for old Contessa, and it was nice for her to go in and do a slightly easier dressage test. And same in the show jumping. We jumped yesterday and she jumped beautifully. It was just easy for her. Wasn't too big of a track, and she just jumped it with confidence and ease. Guys, they've had no rain in Virginia, and I was surprised how dry and hard the cross country is, and I've actually decided to withdraw her from the cross country. I walked the course a couple of times, and half the course is okay, and then the other half of the course goes onto a different property, and it was like cement. And she's pretty fragile, Contessa, and at the moment she's very sound, but I'm just terrified if we ran her around this. She'd go around it easily, but she get sore feet and sore joints, and I just don't see the purpose for it, which is completely against my nature. I'm Mr. Gung-Ho, and I love going for it, and we're in a good position after the show jumping, and but our big goal is the Tryon 4-star long, and my big goal is Kentucky 5-star next year, and everything's got to be pointed towards that, in my opinion. So I think we'll give the cross country a miss today. We've still got a couple of months before Tryon, so I talked it over with my coach Eric Devander, and he agreed that it's not that good of a cross country course for her anyway. Like she'll do it quite easily. It's not really much of an education for her, and she's quite fit, and I don't know, I feel like we can cross country school her on really good footing up at our farm, and we're galloping on the synthetic footings, and so anyway, I'm going to play it safe and not run her in the cross country. That being said, we've got a couple of good competitions. I'm off to Italy, obviously, and the week after Italy, there's an event called Old Tavern in Virginia, and if the ground's good there, we'll have a nice easy canter around that intermediate. And then about 3 weeks before Tryon, there's a 3-star short or a 4-star short, I'm not sure, in the Kentucky Horse Park. Now that will be a brilliant run. Beautiful rings, a great cross-country course, good turf, and that will set her up just beautifully for Tryon. Between then and now, my wife is working overtime on Contessa. The flying changes are a serious challenge. We've got one change really good. The other one is a bit more difficult. We can get them at home, and obviously at the competitions it's a little bit harder. By Kentucky next year, I think we'll have them perfect. So it's a work in progress. I wish I'd started addressing this issue earlier in her career, but she's got this, as you can see there, this big, long canter, which is great for galloping, but very hard for collection. So getting her to sort of sit back on her hips and rock back and do the flying changes is quite the challenge, but they're in there. Peter Wild's been coming down and training us. Peter rode Contessa a couple weeks ago for me at home, and she's training well. She looked good. We feel like we've put on a fair bit more muscle and weight on her, which is good. And like I said at the beginning, she's trotting up really well. But I think soundness is key with her. She's a little bit petite, and I've got to be very cautious with her health and soundness. She's got to be feeling good all the time, and at the moment she feels like $1,000,000, and I want to keep it that way. So this was the show jumping yesterday, and she was awesome. I think we got a 30 in the dressage, which was a little bit harsh. I thought it should have been in the 20s, but whatever. I mean, there was a couple bits and pieces that we need to clean up. The halts could have been a little squarer. And then she was one of the only horses to show jump clear. So out of 60 or 70 horses, I think we were lying in 5th or 6th place before we were supposed to tackle the cross country. So she was in a good standing. And I think we'll just keep chipping away. Silver's going to ride her for the week while I'm training in France. And I got Diego doing a bit work with her and galloping her every 5 days. So she's in good nick. We're going to keep her that way, and look out Tryon. I think that will be an event where we'll go have a real crack at it.